Lately, I've been thinking about how we as a society really value satisfying befores and afters, whether it's an HGTV show or we follow the clean talk hashtag, we're watching videos on YouTube where some chick from Seattle got rid of 80% of her family's stuff and the before and after is astounding. If you're anything like me, what's hiding behind closed doors bothers you more than what you visually see out in your house. So all the befores and afters in the world don't actually help those feelings of frustration that we have because we're not diving deep enough into our space. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you an extreme declutter of my kitchen. This is the before. It doesn't look very messy, right? But wait until you hop into the cabinets, one cabinet in particular, and we work on getting some stuff decluttered. What's behind closed doors might surprise you.
A palace of gold, gold, gold. A palace of gold, 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 gold.
Well, hey everyone, so glad you stopped by my channel for today's video. If you're new, welcome. My name is Natalie and I love sharing videos about simple, intentional living, my life as a mom, and that minimalism doesn't have to be scary. In fact, it can change your life, just like it did for mine. And no, I don't look like your typical minimalist. I have color in my home. My kids play with plastic toys. I have more than one whisk. And I have made a ton of videos in my Messy to Minimal series where I am sharing with you incredibly satisfying befores and afters. But today, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper and to show you that everything isn't always as it seems. I've been keeping up with my daily cleaning of my kitchen. I keep this sink clear, I wipe down my appliances, I sweep the floor, but honestly, all the cleaning in the world doesn't change the fact that my spice cabinet is so dysfunctional right now, I feel like I'm going out of my mind. So for this special episode of Messy to Minimal, I hope you enjoy diving a little bit deeper with me as we do an extreme declutter of my kitchen. We're also going to be doing some cleaning around here because at the end of getting rid of stuff, it's always nice to be able to seal it all off with a nice wipe down and with a little scrubbing so that the place sparkles as well as functions. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and we are gonna get started here. Roll up your sleeves because it's always nice to have some motivation to get some of your own decluttering or cleaning or organizing done. We can work as a team. Let's get started. Okay, let's look in the spice cabinet. Ooh, oh my gosh. This place is so frustrating. So it's this weird shaped cabinet. I've shown this before. It goes deep on this side. I have a little Lazy Susan back there that I would keep like peanut butter and honey and stuff like that. It all ended up getting tipped over, shoved. There's probably some like sticky puddles back there. That's overwhelming and frustrating. I have these little decanter things that work really well if we stay on top of refilling them. But mostly the issue in here, and I'm not just trying to pass the buck, but it is the fact that my husband is literally addicted to spice blends. I mean, oh my gosh. I am not here to throw my husband under the bus because actually this crazy cabinet represents something that I'm very grateful for, and that is the fact that he has taken over a lot of the cooking, especially for dinner time. He's the meat man. He has, in the last year or so, last couple of years, really applied himself and studied and like honed this craft of grilling and cooking meats to perfection. He's very talented at this. And as a result of this learning and figuring stuff out, he's acquired so many different spices and blends. Ooh, there's a new brand at the store of spices. I gotta try that one. And he's really, really good at what he does. Unfortunately, our tiny cabinets and small kitchen isn't really conducive to storing all of these different spice blends that he only uses a couple of times and then moves on from. So it's just one of those things. things, and we can do this as a team effort. So we both cook. I do all of the side dishes and salads and lunch and breakfast, and he does all of the meats. And so I'm going to just go through this, make some executive decisions about what stays and what goes. But before I throw anything away or like donate it or whatever, it is gonna go into a little bin where it will be kind of quarantined, and he can go through it. If he finds that he's missing anything in particular, we can grab it back out and maybe look at what we have in here and try to switch it out or create room. But right now, this is not working for me. So I talked to him about it, and he's totally cool with me going in, doing what I think needs to be done, and then giving him kind of like the final say on the stuff that's under his jurisdiction a little bit. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna pull everything out, wipe some stuff down. It's a little crummy, it's a little powdery, a little sticky, so I kind of want to reset the space and then get this corner done, because oh man, I will feel so much better after this is done. So I know what you're thinking, Natalie, why don't you just use the original containers that your spices come in? Is it really worth it to put this work into decanting them? And my answer to that, and the thing that I always discover whenever I do put the work into doing this transfer into these spice jars, is that yes, it is absolutely worth it. Especially because the majority of the spices and seasonings that we get come in containers that are either way too big for this space because we buy them in bulk, or we get them at a cash and carry organic store that only sells them in these little plastic bags. So this is the perfect solution for us. I just have to put the work in. Okay, so here's an example of like that quarantine bin concept. This is one that I created, and I just popped it up in this cabinet here. We had these original, I think these are like from Target, these little measuring cups, and they're out of size order, and that's bothering me, but that's another thing for another time. And then somewhere along the way, my husband found these OXO ones and thought that these would be good, but both of us actually just kept using these ones. We don't need two sets, but I didn't want to just toss these or donate them because I wanted to see if, you know, my husband truly loved these more than these. He hasn't reached for these or asked for them since I did this about 4 months ago. So I'm going to put this into kind of a bigger quarantine bin with some of these spices, and when he gets home, I'll say, hey, do you think we can get rid of them now? Sorry, I just had to do that. I don't want to make my house a prison for the people who live in it. I don't want my desire and the things that make me feel more at peace to put someone out of their way or to bring the opposite feelings to another person. So as I'm going and as we've been working through pursuing minimalism and simplifying our space, I have in mind what my ideal would be if I was just a single person and I could organize it any way I wanted to. And then I have the compromise in mind and what's going to bring peace to more people in the house versus just me. So that's what I'm keeping in mind as I'm going here. I've already made really good progress. I'm just gonna keep working through the stuff that's both in this cabinet above the microwave as well as this side spice cabinet. Hey Siri, text Weston, do you use your pancake mixer dispenser anymore? Question mark. through the spices in the spice cabinet, and there's just a lot of stuff here that I don't know if you use or not. Could I just shout it out and see which ones you want to keep right here at the stove and which ones I can just put in a bin for you to access when you make specialty things? So the Kinder's Taco Blend, do you use that? Huh? Okay.
The Traeger rub, garlic, chili pepper, okay. Buttery Steakhouse by Kinder's. You do use that often enough? Okay.
Well, I hope you're enjoying this video so far, getting some motivation and encouragement from it. Give it a thumbs up if you are, and if you want even more motivation and encouragement, then check out the playlist linked in my description box, where 20 other YouTubers and I this week are sharing with you our kitchen declutters so that we can help to motivate you or give you some ideas and some support. It's the Mega Motivation playlist started by Dawn from The Minimal Mom. I'm so honored to be asked to be a part of this ongoing collab. It's so much fun, and I know you guys are going to find some wonderful people to watch here on YouTube. If you enjoy content about simplified homes, organization, decluttering, minimalism, all that sort of thing. And if you're new to my channel, if you're just heading over from the other videos that you're seeing in this collab, then welcome. I am so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and turn that bell button on so that we can continue to connect.
Okay, mission accomplished with the spice cabinet and the cabinet above the microwave. I was able to do both at once because there was some like spillover into each other. So this is what I've got going on. I'll give you just a quick tour. Alrighty, looks so much better in here. So we have our decanted spices, updated some of those. I took out the salt and pepper because we've been freshly grinding our salt and pepper. So that was doubling up. That works better. Here are Weston's must-have spice blends, the Traeger rub, and then this Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse. I see my friend Kim from the WODs use that all the time. And then these Flat Iron Pepper Company little pepper flake blends. He uses those all the time. And then I just cleaned up and decluttered our honey, vanilla extract, syrup, agave, this little rounder, which is a great solution for an awkward corner cabinet, because rather than digging through what you can't see here, you just have a Lazy Susan to show it all to you. And then I have a couple more Lazy Susans, by the way. Not purchasing anything new for this video or this project. This is just stuff that I already had. So I had one of these that was just overflowing with too many things. So I separated my vinegars here from my oils here, and this is gonna work great. And this little corner here is where I keep our fancy plates and bowls. This is like if we're doing like a fancy dinner for Christmas or something, those go there and are hardly ever used, but it's the perfect use for this corner because it would just be empty otherwise. So, oh my goodness, looks so much better in there. And up here, it looks so much better. The Weston's coffee maker that he brings down every morning, cheese grater, and then a bin with like his mandolin, a couple of funnels. We've got a candy thermometer in there, stuff that we don't use often enough to have at a lower shelf, but that works perfectly up there. Feeling so much better about this. So spice cabinet is done. This cabinet is kind of like our smoothie making cabinet. We keep our blender in there in the bottom. It's actually plugged in, so we just have to pop it out. The two shelves above it are a little crazy, but that is 100% Weston's domain because it has protein powders, supplements, all sorts of pre-workout stuff that only he uses, only he knows about, so I'm gonna let him take care of that at another time. I'm moving on to more of my jurisdiction now. I'm going to go through this cabinet, which is where we keep cups, plates, bowls, that sort of thing, like our everyday dishes and stuff. And then we have these drawers here, which have utensils, need to go through that, have a few things that are needing to go. We have towels, kitchen linens in there. What are these? Cutting boards, and I have a collapsible strainer here. And then we have kids' plates in the bottom drawer. There's lots of crumbs and grime and stuff in there, so I kind of want to take everything out, give it a nice clean sweep, and find anything that needs to get out of there. So gonna start in this top cabinet and move my way down.
Now that our family has gotten rid of over 80% of our stuff, I know I keep saying that, but I mean, I'm still shocked by the amount of stuff that we have versus what we had last year or about 18 months ago. It's just completely changed my cleaning and just the little like maintenance declutters that I do. Now decluttering is much more about maintaining the space. And because we're a family of 5 and 3 of those people are 3 young children, and then you add that to the fact that I work in social media and content creation, there's always an influx of items into our house. Even though we do try to be more conscious about our spending and our consumption, it still happens just like it does for anyone else. And I think people have this false idea that minimalists just don't buy anything. And the reality is that minimalists still buy stuff. We're just really good at getting rid of stuff when it no longer serves us. And by get rid, I don't necessarily mean just mindlessly throwing things away. We donate, repurpose, gift to people, or just take to a place that could use it a lot better than we can. Why store things that are not serving us if it could be put to better use by someone else or in a different capacity? So that's just something to keep in mind. I know a lot of people here on my channel don't call themselves minimalists or cringe at the idea of minimalism sort of as this label, but for us, it's just a way for us to really focus on what matters most for our family and our household. And we have found that it is not restrictive. In fact, it's the opposite. It gives us a lot of freedom, and it has freed up so much of our time that can be spent with our family and doing things other than just maintaining our stuff. And you guys know I don't like to push a lot of links or products on you, but I get questions all the time about this hand vacuum that I am using. It's from Shark. It's the Wand Vac, and it is one of my favorite things of all time. I use it all day, every day in my kitchen especially. So I will link it in the description box for you guys to check out if you're curious. So now I'm just moving on to another area of the kitchen that chronically gets disorganized, which is under the kitchen sink. Let me know in the comments what area in your house just always seems to attract clutter or get disorganized. For me, it's that spice cabinet and underneath the kitchen sink. I actually recently did a declutter down here, but I still found a few things that needed to go, and I just rearranged things back to where they needed to be. It's a super awkward spot with this aftermarket installed disposal that the previous owners put in here. They also put this water filtration system that was a total joke, and so it's definitely not how I would choose for it to be, but especially when you live in a place like you're renting or you're moving into a place that other people had a lot of the decision-making authority in, it can be a challenge to keep things the way you want them to be. But that's okay, we can do it. We just have to get a little bit creative, and living with less stuff definitely helps with that. With the main areas of this kitchen decluttered. I thought there wouldn't be anything more that I would find, and I was almost going to not open up this drawer underneath my oven or this side sort of lazy Susan corner cabinet. But I made myself do it. It literally took me less than 5 minutes, and I ended up finding a couple of things. So even if you don't think that there's something to declutter out of a spot, it might be worth a couple of minutes to just take a look and then free up some extra space in the end.
I had to shove what I decluttered over to this side of the table because the kiddos needed lunch. Decluttering and mom life collide. Is that good? What are you having? Chicken nuggets and spaghetti, leftovers from last night. So I'm going to show you guys what I decluttered out so far. I actually already took some garbage out, so imagine a little extra garbage added to this pile. But I had this big mason jar. I have 2 of these, but only ever use 1. Someone will be lucky to find that at the thrift store. I have a couple of cast iron little pans that I just never use. My fantasy self cooks with cast iron and seasons it and all of that. I just don't have time for that. The measuring spoons, like I showed you, this little pancake stir mixer dispenser thing that Weston bought thinking he'd love it, but he doesn't ever really use it. Talked to him about that one. A couple of little extra plates that I found buried in the corner of the cabinet that we don't use. I have these little wine glasses, but they're just too small. I usually will throw a full like sparkling water into a wine glass with some lemon juice and some stevia, and these only hold about half that much. So I have a couple of bigger ones, and I don't need these ones, so those are going to be passed on. These are empty spice containers like I was showing you. A few straws that I no longer use because I actually got like a straw spoon duo that is like multi-purpose and it's great. These are the spices that are going to go out to Weston's spice graveyard for him to grab from if he does end up finding out that he misses them. I found this coconut oil that expired in 2019. Don't know how I missed that in my last pantry declutter, but here we are. This probably needs to go. It smells a little rancid, so probably time to move on from that. It's a shame though. There's still a lot left in there. Empty lighter, dead batteries, this silicone thing that is supposed to stretch over the mouth of a bowl, but it always falls off, and then an old towel that I don't need anymore. And speaking of lighter, I wanted to show you this. So I decluttered that butane little lighter out of here. It was empty, but I don't think I will ever buy another butane lighter again because I discovered this on Amazon. Again, I don't like pushing products or sharing a ton of links with you guys, but oh my gosh, this might just change your life. It is electric. You literally charge it by USB, and when you press the on button, it makes this electrical arc happen, and when you touch that to the wick of a candle, it lights it on fire. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And you can turn it off, you can see how much juice is left in it, and it lasts forever, literally. It's amazing. I will link this below for you guys. Just thought I would share. Also, these are those straw spoons. I also got these on Amazon. Okay, I'm sharing too many products and links, but I know I'm gonna get questions about that, so there you go. Links in the description box. Definitely not a huge, massive pile of stuff to get rid of, like my other Messy to Minimal episodes, but the difference that getting rid of this much stuff has made in my small kitchen cabinets is worth every ounce of effort. And as soon as they're done eating their lunch, they'll go off and do some playtime. Oh, your dress is backwards. Did you get yourself dressed today? They're gonna finish up lunch, and then I'm going to get into the cleaning of the kitchen. Now that everything is decluttered, it will feel so good to wipe everything down and get it clean. My husband is actually usually the one who cleans out the fridge. He did that over the weekend, which is kind of the inspiration for this whole kitchen declutter. It's been so great to have the fridge all put together and organized and decluttered and cleaned out, and I thought, you know what, I think I need that for the rest of my kitchen. So thanks so much to Weston for those efforts. I'm gonna just get some cleaning done to finish off this work that I've done in the kitchen. So get on up if you have some cleaning to do. I'm gonna play some fun music for us to clean to, and we are gonna work together.
Clap your hands and you'll feel stronger. Tomorrow
and it is done. I would call that a good couple of hours worth of work, doing the decluttering in the cabinets, going through all the drawers and nooks and crannies in this kitchen, as well as sealing it all off by scrubbing it down and making it sparkle again. But honestly, can you tell the difference from this angle versus the first? Honestly, there's not a big before and after here, but that's the point. We don't always have a full weekend to dedicate to doing huge declutters or getting rid of 80% of our stuff in one fell swoop. Sometimes we need to take it bite-sized pieces at a time. And I hope that this video today showed you that you can make a big difference whether it's visual or not. Now, of course, when I open up this spice cabinet, I do see a big visual difference. It's so much better and it functions so much better. But this is a closed door that when you're looking at the kitchen as a whole, when you walk into my house, you're not gonna know the difference. But I do, and that's what matters because I'm the queen of the kitchen. And the king is on his way home right now and we are gonna get dinner started. So I'm gonna say goodbye to this video, but I hoped you enjoyed coming along with me while I did a declutter of the kitchen and did some cleaning here in the kitchen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn the bell button on. And don't forget to check out the other people in this Mega Motivation collab so you can get even more motivation and encouragement as you declutter around your house. Thank you so much for spending a little part of your day here with me on my channel and in my kitchen, and I'll catch you later.